It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mind. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, this one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. My ego die political. My ego don't come. This one not the off in mind. My ego don't come. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh. My
Hello there.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun La. This is also Sunday sermon on Mayegun's Diary Politico. If some of the words to be used is going to get under your skin, please don't watch this broadcast. If you are someone that has the mind of political correctness, please don't watch this broadcast. If you're also the type that is everything God, 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 I don't want to insult your God, please don't watch this broadcast. If you are an Agbadorian, a bastard, I advise you for your own sake, don't watch this broadcast. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. It is for your own good and for our own good. Everyone else, share this broadcast. Invite your friends and your not so friendly friends. There is Robodion. On top this aircraft, Tifnumbus aircraft, confiscated in France. People don't throw mud, stones, biriki, and evil mortars. Thank you so much. Read beyond the caption as well. Obasanjo relishes the Nigeria genocidal war. Now is on the side of the Igbos. Share this. Mutide. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live. Yesterday, we finally got the response of Irokunle Amosun that I kind of like to call Amoshi. The former governor of Ogun State, the man behind the old Rogodion that led to a $74 million, 74 million euro court settlement, which they called an embarrassment. A whole country, a whole Nigeria, anyone in this part of the world who have the audacity to want to confiscate Nigerian properties, they are acting surprised. But despite of their bilateral agreements that they are signing left, right, and center, most of them, they are not willing to really fulfill. So the story behind this confiscated presidential jets in France is no longer news to some of you, but a bit of a catch-up. In 2001, Nigeria and China, they signed a deal that allows Nigeria and then Chinese businesses, in fact, Chinese businesses or businessmen to settle in Nigeria. This deal was not really put to use until 2010. The governor that signed the deal on behalf of Ogun State and others, it wasn't just Ogun State, there were other states too, but this particular one, Ogun State, that was Oshoba. Then Benga Daniel became governor. He too was always like frequenting China at the time, because I was there. I experienced the entire 8 years of Daniel, right? So it seems like the Chinese deal was fine until Benga Daniel left in 2011. Amosun came in. When Amosun became governor, the first thing everyone believed he did was to cancel all of the contract, agreement, biz deal, or whatever it is that people have committed hundreds of millions of naira, billions of naira. I mean, Benga Daniel sold almost the entire Ogun State. Well, at the time, we generally believe he sold them to his friends, choice lands, government properties, hotels, and all those. Benga Daniel sold them in the name of public partnership deal. So the war of politics in Ogun State, especially between Amosun and Daniel, right, was more or less like something everyone expected. That once Amosun became governor, he was probably going to cancel majority of them or take some of them back, and he did. The first casualty of that was Akogun Olumide. I don't know if some of you remember him. Koye, I know you are watching. What's that man's name again? Akogun Olumide, the man that committed suicide. The one that bought part of the Gateway hotels and few other properties from Benga Daniel's government. And when Amosun came, these people said they have invested so much money renovating some of the properties, brought in investors who have invested so much money. Boom. Gbenga Daniel couldn't make his own stooge, the next governor. So his sworn enemy, long-term political friend and enemy, Amosun, became governor. So Amosun started cancelling everything. So the major one, which is that of Ogun State Free Trade Zone, that was meant to be a place, like a city of its own. Nearly 1,000 hectares of land. I'm talking about over 4,000 plots of land were taken from the indigenous people of those places. No compensation, no nothing. Well, they gave them as all the Chinese that wanted to come and invest in Nigeria can stay in Ogun State and use Ogun State. In fact, Ogun State was to build them a cargo airport so that all those things they will be taking from Ogun State, they can be flying them out of Ogun State from Ogun State Cargo Airport. That was Gbenga's idea. So Amosun cancelled everything. But what Amosun now said yesterday, okay, hang on, before we get to yesterday. So Amosun cancelled everything. Some people, okay, I know of one person that committed suicide, that killed himself. That Ogun, right? And it wasn't just like he was frustrated to that, right? There were so many other people who lost money. I just heard that today that Utomi and his own investors, they lost over 100 million naira in this same. So if you were from Ogun State or around that time, and towards the end of Gbenga Daniel's time, we were so naive. I personally felt like Amosun was doing things that way then, saving us, whatever they could save, because Gbenga Daniel don't finish that state. Truly. But it wasn't because of Gbenga Daniel. So Amosun didn't cancel everything outrightly. He actually went into recognizing this group, another group, which he himself decided to hand the free trade zone to. Meanwhile, before that, they've already appointed someone, the real company that got the concession and the rest of that. Okay? So, when that didn't really last, because they were in courts in Nigeria, court here, court there, the next thing, 5 years after Amosun became governor, 2016, Amosun decided that he's had enough of all these guys. They were probably the last giving him a headache among those people that's kind of benefited from Gbenga Daniel's government policy, the Chinese then. So these ones are Gbenga's friend. These ones are my friend. But these ones won't let these ones have the place they build, right? So it's time for us to use the Nigerian influence. So what did Amosun do? Amosun first called in the police by saying these guys are dubious and they are criminals, impostors. They are laying claim to what? Even though all documents, everything showed. But because Amosun want to get rid of them in the Nigerian style, they didn't care about any bilateral international agreement at the time. Despite faking an agreement with other group to make it look like, okay, these ones are legit, the real owners are not. He decided to call in the police. The police one day arrested all the Chinese associated with that company. Picked them up, those who are on site and those who are in their different places, they picked them up. While they were at the station, right? The immigration came and told them their visas have been cancelled. So they cancelled all their visas, and that same moment they got rid of them in 2016. That was why you didn't hear much about the case inside Nigeria. So the people now took it to the International Arbitration Court. That's a place where trade disputes between countries and companies can be resolved. Okay? So if you have your case to prove, right there they said, well, we've invested this and that, and due to this disruption and then illegal termination, no compensation, they believe that they deserve so and so. All those while, Nigeria was served, not just Ogun State. even when what do you call his name? Even when Dubious Deport became their governor in 2019, they were still served about this case in the UK court of arbitration. However, the Chinese were no longer interested. The company was no longer interested in settling out of court or whatever. They just want to cut their losses, get their compensation, and say bye-bye. That was why they were in court. So Ogun State, Nigeria, they didn't put up any real defense. The government of Nigeria, the government of Ogun State, they didn't put up any counter argument against these guys in the UK arbitration court. So the court now ruled. When the court ruled, that was when, because the court said the properties of Nigeria, two properties, one dilapidated, the other one almost same, abandoned properties of Nigeria in Liverpool, that this company could take those properties. That was when Nigeria now reacted. They now said, oh, this company ambushed us. We didn't even know about this case. We didn't even know all these things going on. That was the argument. So they appealed. They lost again. Now, when they lost, it was time like, well, even if we lose, all our properties have immunity. So no company can just go and take any property of any country. That was what they were telling themselves. They've got lawyers. They've got attorney generals in Nigeria. They've got attorney general in Ogun State. But none of them could tell them that, listen, yes, they can take your properties. Especially if they call rules in those countries. Are you with me? So yeah, they are claiming that they were ambushed and all that. So it was time now for this company to try and effect the court ruling that says they deserve compensation. Nigeria won't pay. So let's begin to target their properties. That of Liverpool property they took. Okay, the judgment came in 2021. Since 2016, by 2021, the court ruled. By the end of 2021, Nigeria tried to appeal. They lost that appeal, which automatically means the company owns the two properties in Liverpool today. But the reason why you are hearing the loud noise is because they have also confiscated another court in France. They have another court in America who also ruled, just so you know. So this is like an already ongoing for years. So Tifnumbu and Co., maybe they didn't give them the handover notes. So I am not going to completely really blame Tifnumbu here. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't save him from others. So, because in this case, it simply means Tifnumbu's government, Boko Haram's government did not tell Tifnumbu government that there is a court case which this company and this Ogun State, they had a deal and they've taken the properties of our property in Liverpool since 2021. They've taken the property since 2021. This is 2024. Now, in 2024, they got another court judgment this month in France that says they can take the Nigerian presidential jets. So this company went to court in France and asked the court that we have just been told that there are 3 presidential jets, Nigeria presidential jets, parked on the Paris airport. Court, please. These people are owing us 75 million euro. We need you to help us confiscate it. And they presented that. This one now happened under Tifnumbu, which this one is not like there is another case. A case of, we want to take this your plane. No. This is a case of somebody we don't win already, looking for where and where it can recover anything that will pay off the debt. You get that now? So, Tifnumbu's government had to plead and say, come, we didn't know about all of this. Initially, all this graph for social media and all that, leave them. So the company now said, we don't have any intention of claiming your property or keeping them. We just want you to honor the court judgment. You have already appealed. You've lost. They need to tell you that too. So right now, the issue is, are you ready to pay? If you are not willing to pay, then we'll take all this stuff. And then if you continue not paying us, then we'll sell them off. Right now, we don't want to keep your plane. We don't want to keep your property. We just want you to pay us. So that negotiation stuff now is what is on, right? So, back to Utomi. And sorry, hang on. Yesterday, Amosun now responded. He said, number one, he initially signed the termination by error, simply because these two companies, there were two companies laying claim to the free trade zone. And his own government investigated and discovered that this one that won the case, they were dubious one. Okay. Meanwhile, he's already signed the fake one, which means he mistakenly terminated these ones he called dubious. They were not straightforward, but people know that's not the story. So this, I see this morning, early this morning, Utomi now went on X, Twitter, to go and lament about what it was like when Amosun was a governor. Here is part of them, right? Said, so they impounded the Nigerian presidential jet with question mark. That is the ultimate symbol of national emasculation. How did we get here? Do we need a presidential jet fleet? Those who wind us on the milk of the modern states, Britain, do not have such for their prime minister. But at one time, before air peace, the presidential fleet in the Nigeria of poor people had more jets than most commercial airlines in the country. So I'm going to even talk about that one a little bit. Isn't it really, really crazy? That true, the president of United States of America, the most powerful country on earth, and the richest country on earth as well, by all standard. I don't know, so many people will disagree, but we are not here to argue about anything, okay? Anyway, you shall know, the United States of America, that's almost everything. The president of the United States of America has one plane, Air Force One, and one chopper. What do you call that one again? What do you call that Air Force One? What do you call your chopper for the POTUS? Then you have the Air Force Two, another smaller aircraft, and then maybe another small chopper, making it four. That's the powerful, richest country in the world. Britain, also one of the richest countries in the world, richest economies in the world. The Prime Minister of Britain flies British Airways. This is a country that is economy is like times 100 of what a mess these guys have made out of Nigeria. But the poor country, Nigeria, has like about 13, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13 aircrafts that sometimes they actually mock the people. We want to sell aircraft, it's a lie. They are ordering more, they are buying more. The president gets like one, the wife of the president get one, the vice president get one, the wife of the vice president get one, making it 4, Abi. The Senate president get one, the speaker has one, the chief of staff get one, the chief of army staff and the rest of the service chiefs, they have one. Who else they? Baba. Now, so everybody gets the ones that they just like order Uber. Nigeria, I don't know how many airlines in Nigeria that have more. I mean, they have like about 13 to 14 aircraft, including choppers. How many? But the poor country and the criminal politicians, this same guy don't buy yacht, luxury yacht, the one that chopper can land on it. They have ordered him one, and then he has now ordered another two new aircrafts, over 150 billion naira. So it's now out of that they have three presidential aircraft parked in France. for Nigeria. 3 aircraft. That's the confiscated one. So they now told them that, okay, we'll give you 1. We are going to release 1. Because normal, 2 of them cannot move for now. Remember that they are supposed to be new aircraft if nobody just bought for himself and shit him, Anabi. Here is the thing. The new aircraft is also not new. Just like your new Anthem, which is also not new. They go buy used aircraft. We say don't get like 7-8 years. In fact, according to them, one of them has like a 9 years lifespan. You know. That means the plane don't fly for 9 years. And they just buy them. They are doing customizing it in France. Here you get, it's part of the confiscated planes in France. 2 planes plus another one making 3. Poor country. Anyway, so Utomi went on talking about Amosun. Sorry, I'm going to read this one, okay? So you may see me put my face, like fixate my face on the side. Well, I'm just reading what Utomi had to say. Said, so it was Governor Amosun's violation of contract terms signed by his predecessor that brought the shame of seizure of jets from the presidential fleet. I hope he is happy at his achievement. The whole matter is karma at work. The Chinese were not the only victims. One prominent Ogun indigene allegedly committed suicide with similar Amosun action. I too was a victim. I had leased OPIC land in Lagos in a BOT agreement under Governor Daniel. Amosun stopped all such on being sworn in. I called him. He said he did not see my name on the list. I went to Abeokuta and he called in Yowande Amosun, who said mine was a straightforward deal. They did not include it. He asked that all be included, but mine be quickly sorted. That began a rigmarole that went on for years. I made another trip to Abeokuta. He drove me back to Lagos at the wheels with my driver trailing along with the escorts and sirens. He had earlier asked that I make a request for a refund of what I paid, even though my South African partners and I had invested 200 million naira in addition to the lease amount at the time. So, with just 2 of us in the car, he advised I make a claim for 100 million naira and write for additional payments the day after I cashed the check. It was surreal, but if I got nothing more, it would be better than being in court until we both retire. I took the case to APC leader Bola Tinubu and Baba Akande. No result. Took it to Dapò Abiodun. When he took over, nothing came of it. If this happened to Frida, I wondered what enemies were going through. I lost my weary South African partners who owned a successful regional chain across South Africa, blah, 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 blah. So that was one of them, lamenting that Amosun's action actually led to a lot of disaster, especially among the elites, which he, Utomi. So Amosun now responded again this afternoon. Their Utomi was a blacklisted member of the society. I just said that one today. Some of us, I don't know how many of them have blacklisted somebody like me, my name. Now, only when you enter their book, you go to say, Badero Olushola. What? Is that not Mayegun? Mayegun, what do you do, Ogun State governor or Ogun State government? I don't do anything. It's just that when you have criminals, just like Edward Snowden said, when exposing a crime is treated as committing a crime, you are being ruled by criminals. So a lot of people will tell you today, Ogun State has not been lucky. Like others will say, Ogun State has never been lucky with leaders. It's just so unfortunate, all unfortunate, selfish, greedy, self-centered, short-sighted criminals have been the ones successfully taking over that state. because Nigerian system allowed it. Sure, you get. So Utomi said Amosun said when he became governor, before he became governor at all, he checked the list and he found that Utomi's name was blacklisted in Ogun State. Simply, then he was the one who called Pat and said, "Hello, Patrick, what did you do to Ogun State government? Your name is blacklisted in Ogun State as one of the enemies of Ogun State. What did you do?" And listen, Utomi was like a bosom friend of Daniel before Amosun came. Under Daniel, Utomi and people like him, they were having deals like that of Opic Plaza, Opic Ogun State Property, something corporation. What is that Opic again? Koye, are you there? Because they always have all these acronyms and this nonsense for useless commissions, this commission that only have kind of existing name, not another thing. And when the existing name is pretty much to further, cheat the people of their own common patrimony. Anyway, so it was already in good book. Which black book? Which blacklisted? Amosun is a born liar, like many people like him. I'm not like completely sorry for any elite that got burnt too. So Amosun said today that the reason why Utomi is complaining is because Utomi is somebody who feels so entitled. Is one of those entitled people. Like people who just feel like this is Nigeria. You know my name. So Amosun felt like no, Utomi cannot just be coming around and feel like he's party. Oh, who the hell are you? Party to gang. He said Utomi, in order to kind of bribe him, Utomi and his group, they organized an award for him. All because Utomi, it was the one who asked him, why did you get blacklisted? Why did the Ogun State government call you enemy of Ogun State? Something like that. I know he's lying, but he said that was what happened. That he now told Utomi that he was ready and willing to write him a check. He should forget his investment. He will write him a check of 100 million and they will pay him off. Because that's exactly what the whole thing was. The businesses that Amosun couldn't take over, he used the force of government, right, to force the people out and give them to his guys. And I think a dubious Dakwa is doing the same thing to him now. The only people who are suffering from all of this are the people of Ogun State. Some of them are watching me right now. Some even became my enemy at the time. Some didn't like me till today because of Benga Daniel, because of Amosun, I swear. Not because I did anything. This guy, this useless guy, I'm a useless guy to them. All those fufu sellers, those ass lickers, some of them are still there doing PA, SA, special advisor, to the governor, SA, because of their social media activities and all that. So they don't like me. But this is what happened. So the people were the ones who lost. And right now that the entire Nigeria is feeling embarrassed, Amosun himself is not kind of they agree with everybody or anybody as we speak. But that is that. So currently, we believe that between now and Friday, there's possibility that they were going to promise them to pay the money just to save face. Because they can't go to court anymore like that. Okay? So it's going to be like, stop. Because now France are here now. Very soon you will not go here, say they don't confiscate. Say some of them are going to America again for the hunger. United Nations General Assembly, the one they went last year, and they spent 600,000. So they spent $420,000 on Olosho in 1 week. They spent $420,000. I'm not making it up in case if you think yeah. Few months after Tifnumbu forced himself on you, he went to America for the United Nations General Assembly, and they spent over $1 million in New York. Out of that money, 420,000 US dollars. It was there. Olosho, Ogogoro, and then some drugs It was there. So they are going again. Maybe if they arrive here, some of them who have their own private jet. Amosun himself gave his own private jet. Some of these criminal politicians, they have their own private jet as we speak. So I hope they fly them to America, because there is another court judgment in America that says these companies, they have the right to claim any property or that of any asset of Nigeria in any part of the world. So they either just make a deal before the end of this week, a deal that will be like an out-of-court settlement, and say, come, maybe we can pay you 70 million now, okay? Or we can work something out. Maybe we'll give you this one first, okay? And give us time. We'll sort the rest. And then they will quickly bombard the social media and everywhere with, oh, the Chinese firm apologized to Nigeria for embarrassing Nigeria and the misunderstanding. You know them now. They go cook you, waiting, they go cook you. We go make and look, say, oh, they have apologized. They said they were sorry. In fact, the Chinese Jinping, what's that man's name again? Jinping, the Chinese premier, has invited Tinubu to China so that all this embarrassment, you will know that China is very upset. They go soon bombard you with that, but it no matter. You know the truth. Unfortunately, there are so many like that are still coming to light. This one, I told you, scandal after scandal, Abi. This one is the first. Do you know that while all of us are condemning RUGA, no RUGA, some people, they make money from the RUGA, just associating with RUGA alone. Baba, 3 billion naira. I'm not sure if Pastor RUGA is aware. RUGA is the rural grazing area, an idea of Bokwari's miserable, murderous government, the ones that slaughtered over 68,000 Nigerians. Yes, they said they were to placate the terrorists, and the way to placate the terrorists was what? We should give them lands. They even told us, they asked us, your land or your life? Imagine your government putting a gun to your head and say, your land or your life. That's exactly how it was under Bokwari. But guess what? She no touch any of the Fulani herdsmen. You know, they said that the crisis now farmers and others clashes. So they said, don't call them Fulani terrorists. They are bandits. Crime, no tribe. Baba, you the mentani. Criminal government in Nigeria were gaslighting the citizens, forcefully taking their properties, their lands, because they wanted to placate a murderous terrorist, Fulani terrorist. And you said, all criminal no get identity. One more, calm down, oh. Because last, all now Jews, kind of a Jews where, as I have told you many times, the criminal politicians in Nigeria will create problems. Then they will offer to, to solve the problems. In the process of them claiming to be solving the problems, they create more problems. So they need more time to fix the problem. At the end of the day, they institutionalize the problem, even if it's claiming lives. You get that now? Some people were making money from it. 3 billion. They are probing them and they're asking questions. If you are interested, please listen to this.
Of reporting to anti-graft, I was satisfied with the fact that it was resolved that it was a payment and the payments were duly made from pre-funded funds.
You know, I read this question. Yes, quite a number of us are also civil servants, and yes, we know how to cover some of these things. And these are very serious issues. So I beseech you, please, when you go back, make sure that you on your own dig the record and see it was actually reported, so that it shouldn't be just like a passing, okay, it's reported and that's it. Otherwise, as a permanent secretary, some people under you will be doing some of these things, because actually when it is reported, it's supposed to be reported, but it's not reported because somebody is trying to cover somebody. So please investigate more, and so that we move forward.
What are you going to do? You're going to reconcile your records of 2017 against 2018 and then 2018 against 2019, or what?
It's done with reconciled.
They have reconciled.
You reconciled? Okay. So, what then is the decision of the committee?
Vacated.
Because they have been reconciled. Okay.
Evidence. Reconcile and send evidence. That's okay.
So that means if the reconciled issues require evidence from the side of the committee.
Sir,
Yes.
look at page 500.
Yeah.
5 up to
397.
yes
Those two.
to that.
But no, don't point at the Auditor General. He's doing your work.
I'm saying apologies.
Oh, okay.
505.
So the issues are here also by vacated.
There was a,
Yes.
there was a process that
Yes.
was aborted.
Rural, whatever.
Spending from RUGA fund in violation of presidential directive to suspend the RUGA scheme, amounting to 3,433,984,692 naira 66 kobo. Paragraph 415 of the financial regulation states, and I quote, the federal government requires all officers responsible for expenditure to exercise due economy. Money must not be spent merely because it has been voted. End of quote. Audit observed that the RUGA project was flagged off on Thursday, 21st of May 2019, but was later suspended through a presidential directive given on Tuesday, 3rd July 2019. 95 payment vouchers were raised and paid from RUGA Intervention Fund between 1st of August 2019 and 13th September 2019, totaling 3,433,984,692 naira 66 kobo. The above payments were initiated and paid without due process after the presidential directive suspended the RUGA project. The above anomalies could be attributed to weaknesses in the internal control system at the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Risk, loss of government fund. 2, difficulty in funding budget. Management response. The action is regretted. It is also being investigated. Recommendation of the Auditor General. The Permanent Secretary is requested to 1, furnish reason for paying the RUGA Intervention Fund after its suspension. Recover the sum of 3,433,984,692 naira 66 kobo and remit same to the Treasury. Forward evidence of refund to the Public Accounts Committees of the National Assembly. Otherwise, apply sanctions relating to irregular payments and payment for jobs not executed, specified in paragraph 3106 and 3104, sub 1 to 3 of the financial regulations, respectively. The 8 is RUGA House as well. Issue number 8, misapplication of RUGA project fund, amounting to 375,785,893 naira 75 kobo. Paragraph 417 of the financial regulation states, and I quote, expenditure shall strictly be classified in accordance with the estimates, and vote must be applied only to the purpose for which the money is provided. Expenditure incorrectly charged to a vote shall be disallowed. End of quote. Furthermore, paragraph 415 of the financial regulation states, and I quote, the federal government requires all officers responsible for expenditure to exercise due economy. Money must not be spent merely because it has been voted. End of quote. Audit observed that the sum of 375,785,895 naira 75 kobo was paid to some individuals and corporate organizations from RUGA funds. The above amount was paid through 13 payment voucher by the ministry, and the payment included 202
2 million, 160 million paid for transportation and other expenses in support of victims of armed banditry in Zamfara State, and advance for sensitization and advocacy visit to state governors, respectively. The above anomalies could be attributed to weaknesses in the internal control system at the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Risk: loss of government fund. 2, money could be paid without getting to the final beneficiaries. Management response: the matter is under investigation. Recommendation: the Permanent Secretary is requested to furnish reason for making payment from RUGA fund during the period of suspension of the operation of the fund. 2, account for 375,785,893 naira 75 kobo. 3, remit the sum of 375,785,893 naira 75 kobo to the Treasury. Forward evidence of refund to the Public Accounts Committees of the National Assembly. Otherwise, apply sanctions relating to irregular payments.
You complain about insecurity, right? You complain about unemployment, right?
Yes.
You complain about the fact that, oh, we are hungry, right?
Right.
You say we want to protest, right?
Right.
You say, oh, you don't have medical facilities, right? You say you don't have good schools and good teachers, right? You say minimum wage, right? It's right.
Now the year million, billion is a total of 3.4 billion naira. 3.4 billion naira paid to some corporations, individuals from the RUGA Intervention Fund. RUGA. So all this why where would they shout, say, no RUGA, no RUGA. Some people they cash out 200 million naira for transportation to go and see the victims of Fulani terrorism attack, and they pay visit to the governor. 200 million. Even the people will be the victims of Boko Haram or terrorist attack, Fulani terrorist attack, if they see 200 million naira, they go tell you, say, don't come, just send the money. Do you know what 200 million naira will do in the life of people that just got their entire livelihood and their entire existence disrupted? That is why everyone wants to be in government. Appointment this, appointment that. So that when they release money, everybody can be in charge. It doesn't have to get to the victims. 3.4 billion naira. Like that. Those who go don't buy latest vehicle, they go don't buy them. Maybe the vehicles, the cars are probably like old now. And the victims of terrorism, they are on the streets begging to feed their children. Children are on the streets begging. But in the name of RUGA, Oya 100 million. In the name of RUGA, Oya collected 2 billion. Just like that. And then they are there reading everything. They are not telling us the name of the... Are they not supposed to be telling us the individuals they pay the money to? Today they say classified. 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 People's lives have been ruined, destroyed. People have died. And some people made money through that. And today they are appearing as successful people in their communities. Some of them probably have a chieftaincy titles from their own royal fathers, and then maybe mosque and churches have given them titles for their generosity towards the progress of the word of God. Meanwhile, in the name of RUGA, they've looted 3.4 billion. I want you to listen to the rest of it, okay? Let it be on record.
To their response. With the leave of the committee of that time, I mean, it was a nationwide issue. The farmer header crisis was so huge. And that was what led to one of the proposed solutions. There were several. This RUGA was just one of them that everybody, the ministry thought was one that would be all-encompassing and would be able to resolve the problem. And it was duly voted and approved. And of course, with the urgency to resolve those crises, which was leading to loss of lives, the ministry was quite proactive and started working on that issue. However, there was also outcry due to lack of understanding and due to political issues, which led to the pronouncement that to douse the tension in the country. Then that led to the pronouncement that, okay, it is going to be stopped because there was a lot of misunderstanding of what the project was about. And that was what led to that pronouncement, which the Office of the General is claiming. However, the ministry had gone a long way with committed contracts and all of that because we were in a hurry to try to resolve the problem. And despite that initial stoppage announcement, remonstration was made to His Excellency, Mr. President, at the time to show all the activities and all of that. And he said the ministry should go ahead, and he later committed it in writing, which we have attached. If you look at pages 506 to 508, presidential leave to the ministry to continue and complete those projects so as to avoid, again, litigation to government on committed contracts and all that. And that's why the ministry went ahead to complete those ones and thereafter stopped. And I can assure you that those ones that were done, the facilities remain where they are and are being utilized by those communities. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. The president stopped it, and the president said you should go, you should continue. But the president has no powers of the appropriation. It is the National Assembly. The fact of the matter that the president has written you does not give you that latitude to go and pay money. We are talking about 3.8 billion put together. And you said from the onset that investigation is going on. Look at some of these terms. Evidence of reconnaissance survey for RUGA. What does that tell you? Reconnaissance of RUGA for RUGA, payment of 196 million. Sensitization for RUGA, 160 million. What does that tell you as a Nigerian, that you have paid 160 million naira for sensitization? For who? Where? These are some of the issues. You know, when you see some of these things, as far as some of us are concerned, this is a package to give an idea that this money must be spent at all costs. This money must be spent, and this money must be shared. So for me, it is important we look at the letter from the president, which has no authority as far as we are concerned. Our authority is, of course, the appropriation at that material time. And I don't know, the chairman of the Agri Committee is here. If you are the chairman in 2019 of that committee, this is also a disservice to the committee, because these are things that one could easily pick it up. Recognizance, sensitization, all this stupendous amount of money, it doesn't go anywhere. These RUGA issues are still on. The permanent secretary is saying, yes, there was a hula value about the RUGA hardest. Does this stop it? Is it stopped? Eh? It didn't stop. So
It's not. You are from Kwara State, right? Yes. You are from where? Ondo State. So there is RUGA there. Anyway, I think our distinguished senior colleague has said it all. The president directed and redirected. Of course, the president could do anything within his powers. But as far as appropriation is concerned, the powers entirely, exclusively in Nigeria lie with the National Assembly. And whoever spends a dime without the blessings of the National Assembly in all ramifications must account for that naira. And so, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, as as it was then, and rural development. Now, food security must account for 3.8 billion naira. We, for going against the rules of engagement as far as your relationship as an entity with that of the National Assembly.
This was budgeted, appropriately budgeted by the national. As a matter of fact, it was when the budget was made public that the uproar started. So it's not like we just did something. It was a budgeted project duly by the National Assembly. And what I said the ministry was to start implementation speedily. But upon the public availability of this budget, and then people started, saying conjectures and whatever. And when the uproar became so loud was when the decision was made that, okay, maybe you should stop this thing for now. So it's not like we went to do something outside of the budget. No. So it was appropriately budgeted, Your Excellency. Distinguished.
It was appropriately budgeted.
Yes, sir.
But illegally or wrongly utilized.
To their response, with the leave of the committee of that time.
Did you hear them? Again, that you are hearing all of that doesn't mean that everyone in that room that is asking question about the money gives a damn about Nigeria. They just want to be seen, right? To be doing something. So last, investigation is still ongoing. And somebody tells you that Nigeria get future with these guys and with the system that continue to produce them. I don't think so. So we're going to quickly now go to Obasanjo, who had a meeting with some visiting Igbos to his house in Abeokuta. And then this was the man, relishing all that happened during their genocidal war that go on called No Winner, No Vanquish. Obasanjo believed that after that war, the Igbos have been the only ones, the only ethnic nationality in Nigeria that have lived above that the evil genocide by going ahead to reinvest and exist in almost every part of Nigeria. Therefore, they deserve their respect, it says. But here, we're going to go through that now. I think you should possibly just listen to the message. Some of you won't like the messenger. And because you don't like the messenger, you may kind of disapprove the message. Please don't. Just listen.
I don't believe that anybody in this country should be driven away from any part of this country, because this country we own it together. When I was fighting for the war of unity in this country, I used Igbos, Hausa, Yoruba, even though we were fighting against Igbos, not that you should go, but that you should come. And I used Igbo to fight Igbos to come. So if anybody says to me that then somebody should leave any place, now the one way say somebody should leave, now he go leave. Me, I married from Owerri. So what are you going to say? The pikin wey Owerri woman born for me, so it no be my own again. So where will you ask him to go? Huh? When I was campaigning, he was there. Small time now they say I no like Igbo. I say, eh? Me?
We gave him all our votes.
I say I no like Igbo. So I said, how do I deal with this? And the thing was gaining ground. So I said, okay, we go to Ogun. After the campaign, I said I want to meet leaders of thought, Christian clergy, traditional rulers, dignitaries, private sector. I took my son, and my son speaks Igbo with Owen dialect. So, but he normally doesn't speak. And when I say, why are you not speaking? So that when they're abusing you, I will hear. So I took him along. After the campaign, we went into a room like this. And I said, look, this rumor, how did it start? And look, I fought the war as humanely as possible. My best friend in the army are Igbos. Chukuma Nzogu, Mikey Benso. What is all this? The first family that took care of me when I returned in 1959 was Hilary Njoku in your own place. What is all this? Not only do I like Igbo, I love Igbo. Let me wait now. I say, let me show you the evidence. Then B broke into Igbo. So he spoke. I mean, I know get here for the language. So he spoke. One of the traditional rulers, he came to me. He said, Mr. President, please forgive me. Betty, you are a rascal. I said, if you say so. Now, but on a serious note, that's what we called you for. I want to learn from you. There may be things that you want us to do that we are not doing, or you want us to delay or hasten. We can give you all the things now. We have halls, we have parking space, we have locked off, we have
clinic,
we have clinic, we have where women we put their children, crèche you call it. We have warehouse, we have garage, we have it all. We have hotel, both high level and low level. I won't call it low level, I would say coastal. So if there's anything you want to say to me, You see, out there, my experience is that there's goodwill out there. That's number one. Number two, the money to develop Africa is out there. It's there, it's there. The problem is how to get it in. And when we get it in, the problem is how to make it stay in. We will examine, I'm not making promise, but we will examine a number of.
There is more. But there's something I want to say after all of that. Is, it comes from the generation that believes that Nigeria is their baby. And practically so. They were those who fought to keep the contraption together. And in that way, people like him, they live and exist believing that they have to keep this contraption together. That is his own conviction, in a way. And by so doing, like others, his own greed, selfishness, despite the fact that he is considered as the most detribalized leader that Nigeria has ever had. The Yorubas who don't like him, they believe that he kind of favor other people than Yorubas, because to them, it was supposed to be probably a nepotism where it's our turn that Tiknumbu is doing now. So Obasanjo happened to be somebody who are really, during his time, and it was a missed opportunity. During his time, Obasanjo commands not just the local respects, he commands international respects around that time. But he couldn't use that to possibly free the people of this contraption from this enslavement. Rather, he dreamt, in fact, he attempted to be the only slave master that other masters or submasters come to by perpetuating himself in power, because he believed, Obasanjo believed so much that he was the only person, right, that can fix Nigeria. And that was how he lost it. So he was supposed to be a leader that built other leaders, whereby all his ideas, all his legacies, and they will be able to sustain them. But what are the legacies of Obasanjo? Despite that brilliance, when you look for somebody who can actually really detect people with brain, but the brain they have, it's just so much to use it to further entrench the systemic corruption that favors just few. But wasn't this bad? So it was the guy who was able to go all over the place and snatch the best brains of Nigerians after the military rule. He brought them back. He didn't give a damn about your tribe, your ethnic, or whatever it is, as long as you have something to offer. And he did well until he plunged everything during his botched third term. So he's married to Igbo. And you see that part, remove Obasanjo from the picture. Those who are promoting the bigotry, the hatred that you are witnessing today from both sides, either the Igbos who are promoting hatred against the Yorubas who are also firing and promoting hatred against the Igbos, you will see, like I put it yesterday, these are a bunch of losers. Because if you see families that were created out of love, because it's actually a thing of pride, okay, that in your family, you've got your cousins, your nephews, you've got your nieces, you've got all these extended family members who are all from different branches that makes up the whole branch of your family. Say, I want not today. In Yoruba land, when we go out then for Ileya or Christmas, you get to see people that they will say they just arrived back from the east, they just arrived back from the north, others just arrived back from abroad. Everyone is back with their family. You see Caucasian mixed family. You see the American mixed family. You see all this. You see those who have their own northern family. Everybody comes back home, mixed together, and we get to kind of be like, this family, they are Muslim. This family, they are Christian. But all of us, we are the same family. That used to be a thing. But you see these low lives, low self-esteem, losers. They want to make it like it's a sin because they want to satisfy their own hatred that is mostly politically motivated, not serving anyone. So what happened to all these families? We have families who are like the both parents, right? They are from two different ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. We have Yorubas who are married there to Somalians. We have other Nigerians who are married to other Africans. They have produced beautiful children, beautiful families that are like, then you want to use your tribalism that is pretty much like the tool of the wretch of the society, the losers of the society. So if you think about all of that, you will see the damages is beyond the stupid supremacy that these low lives are promoting on social media and off social media. So again, take Obasanjo out of it and think about what I just said. Here is the other part of what you have to say to his guests.
To get there to you. The world out there, they are not fruitful. They will just laugh at us. The one we give you before we think we do. But this is something, and I believe if we pursue it the right way, they can get people who will, they will want to see our bona fide integrity, honesty, and so I take note of that. Okay. Thank you very much for that. What I want to say to you is that we want to build a central market. It is something that has been contemplated since the creation of Imo State. And for one reason or the other, it has not been implemented. So this young man then decided to spearhead it. And he was looking for an accomplice. So he came to me. And I've known him in politics. He's a man that if I have had my way when I was leaving government, and I could say, look, yes, a southerner has been there for 8 years. Here is somebody, again, a southerner could be there. I didn't believe that. I thought that, I believed that after 8 years of a southerner, he should go to the north and come again. But if I had had that, he is one man that was told. Now, he has decided that we should join hands and build Owerri Central Market and make it the best of its kind in the country for now. Maybe another 30 years, another one will come that will beat it. But the one we want to beat now, no one will beat it. That's number one. Number two, we needed the understanding and the support of the governor. And the present governor of Imo State is fully with us. The land that has been encroached upon, he has given us the backing. And we are already.
So, with people who are, those are the kind of people that the Igbos, that will tell you Nigeria cannot break up. They have access. They still enjoy some level of, little protection from the system. They are the easy punching bag, no doubt. But again, isn't that something to call the breath of a fresh air to say, okay, in this world where, it seems like a badge of honor right now to be a bigot, to be somebody who talk trash, trash talk. People say tribes, people say ethnic, this or that. And I'm talking to all of you who are bigots, okay? In this case, right? Whether you are Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or whatever it is that you are, as a normal bigot you are, then you trash talk. You trash talk other people's, ethnic and then tribe, just to make yourself feel better and on like that. So you know that it is a breath of a fresh air. So it's kind of complicated, isn't it? Because ordinarily you will see they are talking about what the Igbos mostly with, mostly for, and that is business. So they are not really yearning to want to be in your politics per se, except for the man that ran for president, and suddenly, all hell let loose. All hell of bigotry let loose. And we are still kind of dealing with that right now. But others just as it is, right? To them, it's about their business and cover that. And as long as that is still can still be done, there's no point in like talking about Biafra or breaking up. So those who are the direct beneficiary of the of the consequences of failed government, one, and then the profiling in that same system, they don't like people like that. And I understand you guys, I do. But to somebody like myself, right, it seems like a breath of fresh air to say most of the reasons why everybody want to go their separate ways is because the systemic or the institutionalized sort of injustice in Nigeria, marginalizations in Nigeria, where everyone just feel like, you know what, we are done. So if we see where people kind of still go beyond the hatred around and still show that, we could actually work something there to kind of, build or develop something. I still take that as a breath of fresh air, okay? But that's that. Koolu was in Malabo. You just heard an 82. How old is Obasanjo now? How old is he claiming now? 82, Abi. You just heard 82-year-old man, right? Who spoke clearly. And then it wasn't like you could easily pick all his words, okay, criticize him and, say things you want to say, right? But see, this one is the current, that one don't retire. Or you see, this one is the current Bulaba, who was in Malabo just 2 days ago. So he was talking to the supposed his host in Malabo in Guinea. And they were talking about, I don't know, I shall have the copy of this speech. So just before I play this, I'm going to give you a bit of warning. I'm talking about Tifnumbu. Sure you get. So right now, it was in Guinea. The heroin trafficking hub of Africa, West Africa. It was there. And they said they were signing pipeline deal. Guinea is, as we were told, Guinea is an oil producing country. They have their own crude oil. Tifnumbu said he went to Guinea to go and sign a pipeline deal. So others were just like, they went to sign the root deal for their drug smuggling. But this is what Tifnumbu told supposed Guinea businessmen. If you can, don't try to understand it per se. If you are good enough that you could pick words and put them together and make sense out of it, great. Others, I hope you just watch this as like you're watching a comedian, that is fooling around at old age. Or maybe you can make a sense out of it. Here's the first part. Koolu speaking to investors in Guinea.
And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for me to stand before you tonight after a very delicious food. I will not complain that I'm belly full. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you very much for your hospitality. It is a joy coming down here from Abuja. To me, it is an homecoming. It's one single family of the continental neighborhood that is bonded as a co-joined twins by the hips. nowhere to go but clogging to each other. Our gathering here today is a very significant milestone in the history of Africa and West Africa in particular, between Federal Republic of Nigeria and Republic of Equatorial Guinea. I am very happy to have listened to a very, very deep thinking coming from my brother, the President of Equatorial Guinea, on Africa. Yes, Africa, it is Africa that must solve its own problem. They want Africa wretched and raggedy, full of conflict, antagonism of one another. But we are saying no. Peace, stability, and democracy is the way forward for a progressive development. And we agreed on that. We definitely will continue to promote peace and stability throughout the continent. Some other of our brothers in shackles are still there at each other's throat. We will work together, do everything possible to promote peace between them. What we are seeing in the middle of the region Congo Republic, and other areas of Sahel, it's not pleasant for our today and promising for our tomorrow. We have to work together to make peace the focus of our development in order to really develop. Without peace, we cannot develop. Our problem is not that we don't understand what to do. We identify them. We all
nuisance lele.
Koolu the Guinea. I don't know if this will come up properly, but that's a Koolu's Guinean passports. So Koolu is from Guinea as well. When he said it was like an homecoming for him, a lot of them have the citizenship of this drug, heroin, smuggling hub in Africa, in Caribbean island, and all those places. That is the operation of the Don. Now, one Don, one drug lord from Nigeria is now the president of that Nigeria. Man, how did you do it? I just did. I think that would be the answer. Whenever all those other drug dealers come around and meet like that off camera, and they are trying to say, hey, listen, oh, listen. You know, I'm not in charge of her. Share you guys her. Let's rearrange this sharing formula and all of that stuff. He said it is a significant meeting for Africa. He's talking about himself and other drug dealers that possibly met with him in Guinea. Did their meeting, asked for whatever they think he should be doing to help them and all of that going forward. And the way he was there talking nonsense. He's talking about the Sahel. What is Sahel? The middle of the region. Which region? Congo. Congo is the middle of the region. Which region? Sahel. Congo and the Sahel. Papa, he mad. That's why I told you that please don't listen to him like you are listening to something. But he was trying to say we need peace. We need to stop antagonizing ourselves. He's talking about other African countries. I have more. I don't know how you're going to probably take that, okay? Here is the concluding part. I just want it to be on record here, right? Please.
Identify them. We understand what to do. Our problem is how and when we should do them. And I say the time is now. We better roll our sleeves, get on our knickers, and move for peace, stability, and progress. While we complain about healthcare problem, if our doctors cannot have a home in their continent, if our nurses are faced with destitution, if our judicial system is archaic, if tribes is the hero in the middle of nothing, tribalism has no place in Africa. We have to take the continent and take it strongly. And both kids together help one another, develop our resources for our progress, find solutions among ourselves, dwell on research and development, reward those research and development programs, bring out the results, don't sell it out. To the international organizations, we say thank you. We are partners. We continue to partner. But put more than half of result of those research and development here in the continent. We have a lot of youths to cater for. Millions of them yearning for progress. I've honestly enjoyed my evening and my day here, and tomorrow I'm looking forward to more work, according to Mr. President. But to all of you, I I say thank you for coming to this banquet. It's a very delicious meal. Don't let me give you indigestion from our speeches. Enjoy your evening. Thank you very much.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people approving. People should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the lockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger. Because some people will be at indoor. There's no way to make our own life. I'm highly disappointed.
And they die of coronavirus. That guy speaks better than Tifnumbu. Somebody said I should come and summarize. So now Una actually really like me, Rich Abi. Do you know the amount of cell, the brain cell, that I will have to actually stress for me to be able to try and interpret what Tifnumbu is saying? So make I just give you what he's saying there is that right now Africa's solution is in Africa, which means that they have to look into peace and then democracy and stability, especially stability. And then we have children to feed. Our doctors it's not good that doctors don't have homes. Nurses are destitute in Africa. It's not good that they are destitute in their continent. I think I'm already losing some brain cells, but if I start blame yourself. Because I always give you 1 year ahead. Don't try to try and put sense, because Ninue also spoke about healthcare. And then what else again? So it's better I just leave it that way. Because what are you saying? I understand them more. More will live on that way. It's all about Bulaba, Bala Blue, as koolu will put it. That this is town hall different from Bala Blue. Put it that way, John.
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it is successful again. A town hall different from Bala Blue. Bulaba.
He was supposed to be speaking to investors, but they brought in clappers, people that come in to clap for him. They did well. However, someone was having this Odenta, this prof or doctor, was having a chat around this same guy, Tifnumbu, his policies and all of that on AIT in Nigeria. And I kind of cut this part. Okay? I want to play that for you.
Presidency. Prof, you see, the president's speech, which you also mentioned in your piece.
Yes, I did.
You commended him for also seeing reasons with the protesters and also saying that he feels their pain.
Absolutely.
And went further to say, what are we supposed to do? Because hunger knows nobody.
Absolutely.
But let's look at what is going on now. These protesters are already addressing the press conference, addressing journalists, that they are returning to the streets.
Absolutely.
What do you think is responsible for that? Even despite the president's appeal, they still want to go to the streets?
The point is that societies is an aggregate of combustible social forces. These forces are tempered down because of the way the society's health is seen, palpable, when people are happy, when people are contented, when this poverty is reduced and hunger is diminished, when human infrastructure is built up in education, in health, in housing, in public works, therefore increasing and expanding and strengthening human security. These social forces will be constrained to behave properly. But when a society is racked by insecurity, almost unremitting insecurity, abductions, kidnappings, terror attacks everywhere, hunger, poverty, scarcity of petroleum products, these forces are unleashed. And when they are unleashed, they behave in an anarchic manner because they have no direction. So what a president will do, and what he does is a consequence of the advice he receives. He can't know it all. No president ever anywhere in the world, no matter how sharp you are. The quality of the advice given you will inform your performance either at a rhetorical level of verbal conversation like he did, or in practical policy implementation. What he did is on the basis of what was presented to him by the people who are around him. The speech didn't contain 3 key elements. There was no presidential proclamation. I hereby proclaim 1, 2, 3, 4 proclamations that are clear, precise, and direct. There are no convening orders. That means I convene. Ultimately, a meeting of Council of State was convened, but it wasn't even contained in the speech. I convene a meeting of the leading political figures in this country. I convene a meeting of leading civil society figures in this country. I convene a meeting of interfaith groups with precise agenda. And then the third one is presidential directives. I hereby direct 1, 2, 3 in those critical areas that the people will listen and said, Mr. President really is speaking to us and to our heart. So he made a good point, but the speech is actually policy leading, almost 34 paragraphs of policy orientation. The idea is that he seems to have abandoned the political space in favor of policies. That means if I get the policies right and improve the life of the living standard of the people, I don't care for politics and politicians. That is a wrong way to approach governance. If you don't get the politics right, you can never get the economics right. Therefore, no matter the policies you unleash, the formulation, the prescriptions, and the trajectories of these policies, if there are rumbles at the political space, what I call the political state, that political state has a very important center. That center is absent now. There's no elite consensus, almost as if everybody is on their own. The PDP, led by the last presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, is rioting politically. They are not happy. P2B of Labour Party can see that there's no inclusion. So what the president needs to do is to create amity and sense of conviviality among the political class. Obasanjo did it in
conviviality. He needed to build in a way that the elite and the ruling, and the political class, they can have common agreements. He's right to, it's like talking to the wall. Do you understand what I mean? Like, the reason why Nigeria is a total contraption and will continue to be so is because the political class, they are greedy, selfish, and they want to own everything. Those who are supposed to be the elite, the ones who are supposed to be those who hold the fortune, they have joined them because it seems like their own survival in this level of, I want to use big word, chicanery. Do you know the meaning? No? Me too. It just came to my head, like chicanery. It's just like, it's like a BSing, like bullshitting, sort of this chicanery. Just imagine that. So everybody is just like, it is a free for all. Everybody take what you fit take. Go and look for access. Go and look for connection. Make yourself grab something. If na illegal mining, you won't make money from, right? All you have to do is to look for access. Go and make it to Nigeria, no go work. So everybody is now working at cross purposes. And this was supposed to be the heart of a country where when government is making policies, the elites who are supposed to be owners of businesses, they were supposed to be concerned and, in fact, influence the policies of politicians. Because if politicians make policies, that any wrong policy can run them out of business. Look at Dangote now. So that is why elites and the political class, they are mostly friends because they can align. But you see these ones, their alignment is not about progress of Nigeria. It's about, go grab your own. Are you with me? Go grab your own. If you can, all this noise you are making, Baba, go make your money. Now you have a lot of people. Sorry. You have some people with so much money. Some of this money, they cannot tell you how they got the money. They have them stuck in banks. They have them tucked away somewhere else. To the point that even when criminal politicians are laundering money from Nigeria, now the elite bankers, they help them loot the money. They understand the economic effect of that too, but they don't care. Since they could use part of the money proceed from that loot themselves, they could use them to buy some foreign shares, foreign stocks. So if everything go down in Nigeria, they always have something to fall back on. So let us all finish Nigeria. And they were supposed to be the one to be concerned about poor electricity, insecurity, inflation, because it affects them. It kills businesses. But you see all of them declaring profit in an economy of over 40% inflation. But you are seeing them declaring profit, billions, buying latest cars. Because all of them are working at cross purposes. They are not working in tandem, in their purpose that actually will help everybody. You see, when businesses are growing, they will employ people. They will increase salaries. You get better pay. You get other things that comes as the economy improves, your life improves. That is when you see the elite, you see the political class. That is when they can have a peaceful society, a peaceful place. But we all know that it's intentional. Nobody wants you to have anything peaceful. Here you get. They want you to continue to suffer, lack, and at the same time continue to tell you. Sometimes they blame you. They say, Nigerians are the problem. We all love foreign things. Look at your iPhone. Look at how much money you are using to buy a car. They blame you, but guess what? It's not you. Okay? Because all over the world, we still buy foreign stuff in billions of pounds sterling. In the UK, we still consume a lot of stuffs in the UK that we have to buy them and they import them to the UK for us. Yeah. But there is economy, the UK economy of its own, that can provide anything you want to get from any part of the world. You will get them from locally in the UK as well. So the market is free. The choice is there. The economy is booming enough to accommodate. And the moment they feel like one is overriding the other, the politicians, the elite of the UK, they will all come together again. They will channel something that eventually will not give room to chronic capitalists. I'm talking about criminals who claim to be businessmen, living off the system, scraping and raping the system because their friends in politics could make policies to give them that. And as they are giving them all this money, right, millions of us are losing. I remember when Peter Obi was saying something about stolen crude oil in Nigeria. Today, a lot of people, in the last 9 years, over $300 billion. You heard me right, too. Over $300 billion worth of crude oil have been stolen from Nigeria based on the available data. And those responsible for that, guess what? The same elites who are supposed to be the investors in petroleum, investors in banking, investors in this or that, they were the same people who used their resources to smuggle crude oil from Nigeria rather than pay for it. So that when they pay for it, the money goes to the people and fix whatever needed to be fixed. But they don't want to pay. They put together a multi-million-dollar scheme and they were ripping Nigeria off multi-billion dollars worth of crude oil. For 9 years, go and do the math. 700,000 barrels of crude oil stolen from Nigeria every day. Go and do the math. Okay, don't do 9 years, do 8 years at the rate of average of $100 per barrel. Now go on, 700,000 barrels a day. And how many days you have in a year? 365 days in a year. Multiply 365 days in a year times 700,000. Tell me what you get. Then multiply it again by 8 years. Tell me what you have. Then multiply whatever those numbers by $100. Tell me what you have. And possibly if you have the time, if your calculator will still take it, please, whatever you get in dollars, I want you to multiply it by 1,620 naira. Whatever trillion you get was the money stolen by a lot of these criminals. They have properties everywhere. They park private jets in Nigeria like it's like cars. When they're having weddings of their friends and all of that, right? My papa, you will see traffic of private jets from people who have no business, who have no nothing, no means of all this money. All they had is connection to where they happen, where they are loading the money in billions and in billions. So when you now take a look at years of all this looting, you get to see the trillions. Obi once said this, so this is a flashback.
The reason why we had a situation where you can't see or compare anywhere in the world where there's high oil prices, I will have huge deficits. It's very simple. We're the only OPEC country without the only OPEC country, apart from Venezuela, with sanction, that is not meeting up our oil quota. The reason is because of oil tax. And they have said it everywhere. Oil in Nigeria is being stolen by people in government. Nobody can steal oil. It's not a sweet. You can't go into grocery shop and steal something and put it in your pocket and go away on your back. You can't steal oil like that. For you to steal oil, a ship has to come into your territorial waters, load the oil. And no ship can go into a nation's territorial waters without the approval of its navy. And you load it. For you to leave, you have to have approval. And everybody knows where every ship is on the surface of the earth. It's something that's recorded. So, if somebody is able to take away oil, there's a high level connivance between external and internal people who have organized for the oil to leave. And you can even trace the oil to where it is offloaded. So it's not something, it's not an easy thing to steal. It can only be done officially. And that's it. And again, it's worrisome because if you take an amount of money that we're losing, when we need, again, look at our exchange rate, when we need every dime, we're losing huge amount of money, even when all the money won't come to us. I always tell people about what happened to us in July and August. We're operating a high level of budgetary deficit in between January 1st of this year and about 30th of April. First 4 months, our revenue was in the region of about 1.6 trillion. Our expenditure is about 4.7 trillion. So we had a deficit of almost 3.1 trillion in terms of naira. But in 2 months, I said it might not be, all the money might not be coming to us, we had shared with our partners. We lost almost 2.83 trillion within these 2 months. In July, our oil production was, on the average, 1,083,000. Our quota is 1.8. So every day we lost 717,000 barrels. That's what we didn't produce. So if you take it in 1 month, it was about 22,227,000. At an average price of $110 per barrel in July, it was $2,445,000,000. And if you multiply that with the 550, I don't want to use the official rate, I want to use parallel. It gives you about 1,344,750,000,000 naira. That's what we lost in 1 month, in July. In August, that situation was worse. We were producing 975,000. So we are losing 825 every day. Multiplied by another 1 month, we lost about 25 million barrels in August. At an average price of 100 is $2.5 billion. Again, we 100 multiplied by 555 is about 1.4 trillion. So if you put these two together, in 2 months, you lost about 2.8 trillion. You had a deficit of about 3.1 trillion in 4 months. And you're not, so aggressively, we're supposed to pursue this and consider that we need every dollar now. However, that's why I said it's official stealing. Because if it's not official stealing, we have 200 million in population. We have about 60% youth unemployment, which is about 20 million youths don't know where the next meal will come from. If it's not pipeline, we go and stand everybody on the line there and make sure that nobody takes 1 barrel of it. I'm prepared to go and stand on the line, all of us, because this is the only resources we have. But because people who are in government are stealing it, they don't want to. And when you say it, everybody is looking for ways to put P2B in detention. This man is causing trouble. This man, but you're saying this thing. Since we know this thing is missing, not all of us go and man the pipeline. This is not pipeline. If we stand there, who will take it? Well, they won't want us to do it because people know those who are taking it. So it's very easy.
Do you need any extra explanation? This was during your charade election. And then at the dollar, at the Dumbos, they believed that somebody who was doing this has more plan for them.
The great youth of Nigeria.
Great.
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 Greatest,
Yo. Or this one.
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax net. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we'll take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the...
You get them? Or this one.
That transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn.
Did they feel me? So a lot of people are kind of trying to gaslight you today. What you'll be, waiting this or that. They were those that are hoping this man go fear God and please do something. But there's nothing. I know everything is hard now. I wish there is a way out. There is no way.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Child! Anarchy loans. Anarchy loans.
Koolu. I do have this. To those of you who usually apply the Songwater, Abeokuta, toll gate or so, those areas, they said they are already fixing that. I saw this yesterday. I was to show you, but I have it now.
Good morning, sir. Today is Saturday, August 17, 2024. And this is the ongoing scarification at the Obada section of the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway road construction. And the work is ongoing at the Obada section of the road.
So now people will have to pray that the road is completed. But did you see all those tricycles going in front of the, what do you call that thing again? Is that tractor? And do you see the whole environment? They just kind of suffer our people for no reason. And the reason why people are going through this is just because of the greed of these rogues. I mean, road. Road that everybody will drive on. Baba, come on now. You be governor, be waiting you be. Baba, fix road, where all of us want to enjoy. You dey buy your, fix road. It's a big dream. Fix hospital, na scam. In Kano State, they awarded the contract of supplying of drugs, as in medication, into the state's medical centers, clinics, hospitals, and all of that. They awarded the contract to somebody who happened to be Kwakwan Sob's brother or brother-in-law. I think brother-in-law. To supply medication to 44 local government areas. So they can't expose that now that every month, Kwakwan Sob's brother-in-law is cashing out over 400 million naira from Kano State, which means people were supposed to be able to walk straight into any clinic in Kano. When I say Kano State, I mean, I'm not talking about Kano City. I'm talking about the entire 44 local government area. The brother of their national leader, Kwakwan Sob, probably just bought the medication or supplied the drugs to a few centers, swallowed the rest of the money. So it has become a scandal that the current governor said he is not aware. Some said, no, he's been buying it. Some propagandists, people who hated Kwakwan Sob, They are the ones who are trying to tarnish the image of his brother-in-law. So somebody went to one of the centers, and this is what they brought back from us. I mean, for us. Supposed centers where people go to and get free medical care in Kano State, one of the centers.
Wannan da kuke gani General Hospital ne da yake Wudil, kuma wannan shine emergency section ɗinsu. Ko ni da kai ne muka samu wata matsala da ake buƙatar emergency, wannan wajen da kake gani nan ne za a je a kwantar da mu a cikin jihar Kano. Kuma gwamnati na sane da halin da wayannan asibitotukan suke ciki. Kalli dai wannan fa active yanzu ne ake amfani da su. Misali ko yanzu ka je da irin wayannan kayan da robobin nan da me da su za a maka amfani a treating ɗinka. Kada ka ce wai tsohon waje ne da ba amfani da shi. Idan ka lura da nan wajen za ga gashi nan likita ne ga kati nan kuna gani. Wannan ga yaro nan an kwantar da shi yanzu haka treating ɗinsa ake on emergency. Kun gani ba wuta. A irin wannan hali da asibitotukan ƙauyuka suke ciki, a ce an samu wani mahaluki da sa hannu a karɓan musu kuɗi ba wai tallafa musu ba, wannan ba ƙaramin zalunci ba ne ba. Magana ta domin Allah kenan, kalli irin gadajen da suke kwanciya a kai. Kalli wannan a ce mara lafiya ne zai zo ya kwanta, a ce a kan wannan gadon ne za ka kwanta wai baka da lafiya, kalli wannan. To wa'annan da kuke gani billahi azim suna da kyau akan wasu ƙauyukan. Bari mu motsa wani garin. Kana shiga su maila wannan motar ce za ta fara maka sannu da zuwa. To su ba ma wai irin gadajen ba, ka kalli karafuna ne fa, babu magadan da za a ɗora mutum a irin wannan karafunan dandariya. Ga kadangaru nan suna yawa ɗakunan da za a ce ana duba mutane saboda rashin lafiya. Wai wa'annan ne ake ɗiba kuɗaɗensu a ce za a je a raba musu magani. To wani magani za ka samu bacin asibitin ma bai da lafiya? Ku duba dai irin toilets ɗin da mace za ta shiga, wannan shine mace za ta shiga.
RI
nan kuma da kuke gani immunization center ne inda ake wa yara rigakafi. Gashi nan dai kuna gani wannan shine abin da wannan ƙauyen suke da shi. Wannan a cikin takai ne za ku yi ɗaukar kafa ku je ku gani. Ga kuma cikakkun kayan aiki nan na zamani kamar yadda za ku gani. Wannan su ne kayan da currently yanzu da su ake aiki. Ga wata akwati can da kun gani kun san cewa an cika ta da magunguna da kayan tallafawa mutane na ƙauyuka saboda samun matsalar rayuwa. A haka dai za ku ga ƙauyukan inda ka shiga. Yanzu wannan ɗakin ku kalle shi ku ga irin katifun da ake kwantar da ɗan adam. Kar ku ce fa wai ba wai na da ne an daina amfani da wajen, wallahi azim shine abin da suke da shi kuma shi suke amfani da shi. Idan ta kama a kwantar da kai ma da kake kallon wannan bidiyon a nan za a kwantar da kai. To yanzu fi sabilillahi tsakaninmu da Allah da Annabi an yi adalci a ce ana samun badakala irin wannan a wurare ire-iren waɗannan wuraren da za a ce suna buƙatar tallafi, su ba a tallafa musu ba amma a zo a ce nasu ne ake ɗiba. Wannan ɗakin ma da mutane a cikinsa kuna gani gashi nan, ga mutane nan kuna gani, tabar masu ce suka zo da ita, tambayar su muke taku ce suka ce tasu ce suka zo da ita. Abin da ya gashi nan abin takaici, abin ban haushi. Ni ina kasa bambance meye bambancin waccan gwamnatin da ita wannan sabuwar gwamnatin. Masu cewa duk wani gauta ja ne, wallahi ni ban ga laifinsu ba, ko mu ma muna faɗa. Kawai dai wasu ne suka fi iya wasu tallata, amma aiki a aikace babu. Su wannan ba masu da emergency section fa, wani wuri ne aka ɗan katange kuna gani, nan shine emergency, shi yake serving as emergency section. Ga inda za a zaunar da kai, ga kayan aiki nan kuna ganin su bajaje, kalli wannan wurin ka taba kura yake. Ga kayan aiki nan kuna ganin su a wawwatse. Nan za a je a ce za a yi treating ɗinka ko za a yi maka wani abu makamancin haka. Allah ubangiji ya sawaka. To yanzu tsakaninmu da Allah wanda ya sa hannu cikin cin haƙƙin mutanen da suke rayuwa ire-iren wayannan asibitin, tsakaninka da Allah zai bashi? Wallahi azim dole ne Allah ya saka ya.
Isabilillahi, Mandala. Brother, thank you, though. It's unreal. A lot of people think, man, that's unreal. Did you see that lizard? Akolodugbo. We call that one Akolodugbo. Adarikpon. Alangba inside the hospital. Nigeria hospital is a place where you go to go and treat malaria. And you can go back home with, you go there and treat malaria. And then you go back home with something else. You really need to see what people have been subjected to when it comes to medical care. across Nigeria, away from the prying eyes of the cities that some of you are so used to. You need to go to the rural communities and see what people are dying of communicable diseases. Communicable diseases that are like preventable death. People are dying needlessly. You have no idea. And criminal politicians, oh, they have all these glossy, these glossy books where they have the images of how many hospitals they have built, how many schools they have built. You just need to go see those things they build. And then you realize that, now man, they do man. And when man finish doing man, a man go still try to whitewash man. That's what happened to this Bokuwari, the Daura lifeless mannequin. Yes. Some people went to see him. They say him be their father. They missed him. And therefore, he too was on hand to advise his children. Bokuwari, ladies and gentlemen.
The RU Consultative Forum, a prominent socio-cultural organization, advocate for the interests and well-being of the northern Nigerian community, promoting unity, cooperation and peace through various initiatives. During a courtesy visit to brief former President Muhammad Buhari on their effort to revive the forum, he expressed pleasure and gratitude for their contributions to national unity.
And we also sought his cooperation as our respected grand patron. We told him to open his gates, his doors, so that we can come back to him as our father, as our parent. And we spoke to him about a few other issues that are of great concern to us as a people in the north.
Former President Buhari also expressed optimism about the recent consistent rainfall, anticipating a bountiful harvest to alleviate the high cost of food and other essential products.
This rainy season is excellent. Yes. The last time I saw a rainy season like that, I couldn't even remember. It's fantastic.
Yes, it's everywhere.
We are very lucky. The harvest is going to be excellent.
Yes, inshallah.
So the wicked people that have hired accommodation and stored grains, they will make koolu or whatever. Yes, because a lot of people have hired places and stacked grains.
In Daura, Hussein Suleiman, NTA News.
Ashe. Anything that Baba Salah, that one where they talk say in see him they can see Bokuwari, and then is their father, their parents. That one that look, I was trying to type and say, look at this one that look like Baba Salah. Say this one no supposed to hold past Bokuwari. Where they call Bokuwari our father, our parent. That's part of the hypocrisy nonsense that contraption is known for, especially this older generation. You go see somebody, because to them, right, it's all about access though, right? Those are the Arewa Consultative Forum, the leaders of Arewa Consultative Forum. Okay? So you see somebody who is 70. You go see somebody who is 71. And you say, our Baba, you see, you are our father. You decrease in Oshi, all just to kind of massage the ego of another criminal, so that you can have a paved way. And if you just open check and say, you good with this your hypocrisy? So you mean I am the best and the best of your lead? I'm your father, your parents. Okay, let me do like father do to son then. Take this. It's like that of what happened in Ogun State, when sorry, was I even in Osun? Because that happened. What happened today is that the governor of Osun, Governor Ajogba Trophy, Ade Jackson, right? And then the member of Adeleke family, they were doing a remembrance of Ajogba Trophy, which is the governor, Governor Ade Jackson, and their family in remembrance of the Ade Jackson's mom, Nana or Nena. No, they have Nana. What do you call do you call the grandma Nana? or Nana. Anyway, doesn't matter. So today, they made the Adeleke family feel like welcome, accommodated, and you guess what? The church got a gift of 1 billion naira. 1 billion. Give you 1 billion. It wasn't given by the governor himself. Oh, it was given by Davido's father and Governor Ade Jackson. Could miss the chance here. He kind of had some extra jara to that. He donated a dance.
On behalf of our late mom, on behalf of our late mother, senior mother in Israel, Linda, we want to contribute to the endowment fund, Sentinel Endowment Fund, the sum of 1 billion naira.
Shall I say unto the Lord,
yes, Lord,
all I have to say,
thank you, Lord.
What shall I say? Thank you,
Thank you, Lord. 1 billion naira for the church. I don't want to be Abele Shikawo. I don't want to be the one that will be like advising people how to spend their money. For me, I just think that imagine if they have to call 10 brilliant Oshun, what do you call it, Gen Z with this brilliant business idea, and they call 10 of them. And then Davido's papa just say, you know what? I want to create 10 brand new, entrepreneurs, investors and all of that, and give them 100 million naira each, 10 of them, okay? And possibly give them business managers and the rest of that to kind of, nurture them. But now I don't understand, like, say, go and make your own 1 billion. I know. I have never made 1 billion, and I may never ever make 1 billion. Okay, I may never make enough money that I could give people 1 billion. I just thought, here you get. Now they will have to build more endowment church, and people will not get job. They go gather every year inside that church. They pray to God to bless them and give them job. For now, I'll just keep my mouth shut. Okay, I don't like talking about people's money. I think we agree, right? that you can, if you get your own money, do it as you like. So if a person chooses to spend it in the path of God, I know that I have actually overshoot my time. So we have two options, okay? Number one, we started late. Number two, I have used almost all the time, over 2 hours. Do you think we should all just kind of like, save all this and just go to bed? Or do you think we can still have a chance of probably phone calls where you can add your own contribution for the next 40 minutes? I know sometimes I shouldn't be asking. I should just say, let's go take calls. But I just don't want you to be so bored that you're like, Mayegun, it's okay, let's go to bed. Don't worry. So I want to hear that. So if I come back and people say, you know what, Mayegun, well done, let's go to bed. Then I'll tell you my final stuff when I come back. And if it is like, yeah, why not? Let's have another half an hour and have an extra gist. Some people are already calling in. Okay. So maybe we are going to take calls. But if you change your mind and you need to go this evening, right? Great. Just make sure that you like the broadcast before you do that. Okay? But if you have something to add to this, sure, you can call in. And when I come back, we can have a chat. So don't go anywhere yet then. Speaking tongue. Yes, we do have just half an hour, 30 minutes this evening. And I have the first caller on the line. See, we had a meeting today. We had a general meeting of the Yoruba Union. We had a leadership meeting of the Yoruba Union. And indeed, all of us are looking forward to Friday, the 23rd. But I do have this final request, which is for those of us who might still want to be part of it. You need to book yourself a ticket to book a seat. So by Tuesday, we are likely not going to be able to provide for anyone who still want to be there physically, but haven't really booked their seat, right? Because we need to kind of, when I say provide for people coming, I am talking about all of us who needed our names, our tags, and everything prepared based on the fact that your coming is confirmed. Okay. The Yoruba Union Summit will not be streamed live All right. Sorry, you might call out. Hang in there for me for 1 second because I may not get a chance of making this announcement properly. Okay, please. If you didn't attend the general meeting of the Yoruba Union on Telegram today, it's okay. So, and then you have a chance, or a plan of coming down to Glasgow on Friday. You need to book a space. And then we'll be rolling out information, including everybody coming. We are going to send to your email, okay? All the necessary information you need. If you need to book a cab, if you need the hotel to stay, if you need the African food or somewhere, like if you're not eating from the summit and you need to eat elsewhere, all the ideas, all the information you need about Glasgow, we will provide them for some of you through the email. Also, we will provide contacts to some of us who might need help when we get to Glasgow. If you are coming to Glasgow for the first time, the union is making provision. So that is why we need to know who and who is coming. And we do not, because we are also going to be deliberating, discussing and debating the constitution of the union, formulating all the policies that we've already have there float. We're going to present them to the summit, and people are going to take decisions on them, and they're going to become official thing about the union. So all of this, we do not want to stream it live. We want to keep it an in-house thing. It doesn't mean that you're not going to see what happened at the union summit, okay? Everybody is still going to watch what happened there. But there are some certain things we want to keep out of the public. And we just want that to be for those who are with us and for us, and they will get to know what they are getting involved in, sort of. So sorry that I told you that we're going to stream it live. No, we are not. We've agreed that we won't be streaming it live. We are keeping some things private so that's what we believe, should give the success to this. So yeah, if you have tried to join the yorubaunion.org as a member and you're having difficulty, we are working on some certain stuffs as well to make sure that all of that is fixed. Everything right now is pretty much at a building stage. Bear with us. Sign up if you haven't. Get others who are also aligning with us to sign up. And yes, you're going to love it. I have a caller, and I hope I still have you with me. Are you there?
Yes, Michael.
Oh, I'm so sorry I kept you that long. Okay, so thank you so much, Baba. Now, here we are.
Yeah.
Sir, please.
Yeah, Michael, thank you for your great job as usual. I wanted to bring something to your attention. I don't know if anyone has said this to you, and I don't want to I don't want to offend anyone, but it's something that kind of I listened to and I kind of struck my mind, and I need to bring it to your attention. I've been trying to call for the last few days, but I can't get hold of you. So there's there's a clip that you played about some guy that was saying that the Igbos come to Lagos to disrespect their traditional rulers and all that stuff. Yeah. That guy's voice sounds like somebody that has called into your temple before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that in the recent time?
Yeah, it sounds like that. I'm not sure. That's why I don't want to offend him. I don't know if he's listening, but it sounds like that. Akiola, something like that, of a guy. Because I was trying to get his previous clip, but I can't get hold of his previous clip. So I can compare both voices, do like a voice match, and then come to a definite conclusion. But I thought I should draw your attention to that. I don't know if it's him. I'm not. That's why I'm a bit careful.
I get you. So when you hear that voice, somebody.
Yeah, it sounds like.
And then you hear the voice of Elder Akiola that always calls on this program, right? So
yeah, it sounds like him.
Okay, is that your own your findings, like?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I said I'm a bit careful. I don't want to say something that accuse someone that is not what it is. But his voice, both voice sounds the same. And I mean, maybe at your own free time, you can go through it.
If it is about some of the audios that we've played here concerning some of these Ronukus and all of that, I can tell you that those are not Elder Akiola's, they are not Elder Akiola's. You know why, right? Most of the guys who were making those assertions, they were actually known in the midst of the bigotry Olympics in Nigeria. You get what I mean now? So, Bonka Ebiri, or some few others who have their names out there, they are known all the way from Clubhouse. Do you get what I mean? But yeah, they might sound similar. And yeah, maybe there is another voice that I haven't heard that you have, okay? But if you are comparing the ones I've actually shared on this platform, we got most of those voices are like popular, bigoted voices online anyway. So I'm going to say no, it's not his. Yeah, you can erase it. You get what I mean?
That's yeah. Thanks for clarifying that. My second point was that I was going to say a while ago. I think people in Nigeria they don't really get the news a while ago because my mom is here and she's 77, and I make her sit down with me to listen to my ego, and after like a few weeks, like she's been here for a few months, I can see her the way she's reacting. Like, to what is happening in Nigeria. And I said, this is what I'm telling you, because you people in Nigeria don't get the news. And she admitted that that's the truth.
You say?
Yeah. And like the way she was reacting, like, that's how I said to her that, you see how you're reacting for the couple of months that you've been here with me. I said, because you people in Nigeria, you don't get the news. So if you don't get the news, how would you react to what is happening?
How would you react to something that you don't know?
Exactly, and she kind of admitted that that's true, that they don't get it. I said because most of the time they don't even have lights. So how would they listen to news?
And we are talking about a massive demography in this regard.
Yeah,
we're not just.
And there's no internet as well. Mm-hmm. There's no internet as well. They can't buy data. It's expensive. So yes, I think one of the main thing that we need to do, we are in the diaspora, we need to take this news further down to the grassroots. And it's a shame that I can't make it for your summit, because that's what I was looking to discuss with you. How do we get funding? Because sometimes you can't just be saying, okay, let's raise funds. Our people are sometimes, when it comes to fundraising, how we behave. I always tell Nigerians that if you're really serious about you want to change your country, that you should be able to put your money towards this project. Because there's no point of complaining.
See, we're having a meeting today at the leadership meeting of the union. And I always feel sorry for my, for my guys in the union, for instance, right? They know I have this reservation about a fundraiser. You get what I mean? Behind the scene, before I finally, a lot of you may not know this, right? Before I finally come out here to even spit it out, that, what we are raising fund today, please, I'm trying to this or that. It's like a battle that I don't have to belabor you with how it is, right? And I'm grateful to all my donors who never really complains, right? So back at the back end, the union, supposedly the union leaders, people are contributing as much as £500 for things that we're doing behind, including this website we are talking about. And the idea is to listen. Nobody can achieve anything by just coming out to raise fund today, raise fund tomorrow. We need a platform where what we want to do can easily be shared with possibly, right, thousands of like-minded people. Now, if you build a platform that can, survive on its own, that can generate its own resources monthly, right, and these resources can be channeled towards all these sort of, ideas. For instance, right, we intend to, when the Yoruba Union become really fully functional, right? So we intend to take charge or take over. No, maybe not take over, but like I don't know which word to use. We intend, right, to get into their media, what have you, in Nigeria. And what is that? First, we'll start with the existing known medias, right? Whereby we begin, right, to kind of fund them behind the scene, right? Sponsor some of their programs. So we get through them, we begin to pass some messages that ordinarily they won't let happen. And some of these, right, with the resources we may have, right, we might end up having to kind of buy over some media houses too. Because these politicians are doing same, no be so. So with our resources.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea.
So
but I think my good.
Without having to create our own from the scratch all the time. You get what I mean? With good resources.
Yeah, but
go on.
I get that point, but the point I was looking at is like, we need a diaspora media that is going to really go after these people. I don't know how to put this for my ego, because the people that we're fighting against, they have their hand on the Nigerian resources. They can borrow money, they can spend, they have unlimited budget. So our budget is kind of restricted. But that's why that's why I really wanted to come to your summit. But unfortunately, I had other things that came up, and I was caught up in the process.
Man, because we are making that there is a provision for virtual participation for those who couldn't make it because of the short time, right? Where people can still
Yes.
participate and make all these your viable contributions, right? So what we are doing is that we need that platform first, and then you see all this idea of the diaspora media, this and all those things. We have a chance, and what we are building, right, is going to be an endless access to resources that could take care of anything eventually, Baba. But that's
okay.
It's an idea,
that would be good.
right?
Yeah.
We are still kind of fusing a lot of it together to give it its life. I mean, life of its own, you know.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I mean that's because,
So
like I said, funding.
Okay.
Yeah, funding is one of the big things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, funding is one of the big aspects that I really want us to iron out properly, so that we know our money is coming in for what you're doing, and because you can channel this energy towards getting what we want to achieve. Because like Nigeria problem is so massive, and let no one underestimate what's happening there. That we need that support, Marigo. You need that support so that you can keep hammering this message down to the people, and in different translation, in different dialects, so that people can understand what's happening. They don't know what is happening. That's why they are walking ignorant. Like anything that is happening in Nigeria, they'll just come and take crude oil here and then settle any international problem they have. They come and take crude oil here, settle them. If it's within Nigeria, give them rights, and that's fine for the local people. That's what Marigo. Let me let other people get involved in the conversation.
Thank you so much, by the way, okay, for raising all these concerns and even the suggestions and all that, Baba. There is so much that we want to do, but we have told ourselves, right, that we will do them at our pace, so that even if it's going to take longer than others are expecting, right, we are going to build something that is going to outlive so many of us. So to do that, right, we want to do it right as well, Baba. So thank you.
Thank you.
You shall see that, okay? And everybody who, I know a lot of people are still observing us. They want to see what this is all about before they finally kind of say, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? I understand that too. Sure you get. But yeah, we'll keep pushing it, Baba. Thank you so much for that, okay? Now, let me take another one. That's an extended convo. And indeed, it's also an opportunity for me to possibly answer some people's concern, those who want to call in but couldn't call in, and they want to ask this similar question. So when you have it kind of like a broad chat around it that way, I might be indirectly answering some people's questions too. But here is another caller. Hello.
Hi, my name is Emmanuel. Sunday Adebowale's friend. Ogunbowale's friend. Yeah, we spoke in 2016. Yeah.
How are you?
The person who made that, I'm fine. I'm calling from New York. Fantastic. The person who made that comment is my very good friend. And I warned him. I know he has gone back to make another comment. No, it hurts me that I'm an Igbo guy, he's a Yoruba guy. But when he was coming to this country, I was the one who helped him. But he forgot his roots. And when they sent me that video, I was mad. I had to call his senior pastor who warned him. He was busy inciting violence. He's in the US. But things like this can send him back to Nigeria.
A lot.
Because in the US Constitution, if you're inciting violence against other people, it will deter you from a lot of things. So I just came to call to clear that issue. So not Elder Olaoye or whatever.
I mean, sorry, the Akinola, so
yeah,
the voice may sound somehow.
It's my very good friend.
God bless you, sir. Yeah. Okay, I appreciate
I'll
this.
send you the audio. I'll send the audio of the heated argument we have in the car. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
I'll look forward to that, Baba. Thank you so much. Okay, you have a good one, sir. So that's Emma from New York, calling in to kind of back me up that if you, my caller was referring to the voice of those inciting people in Nigeria on this Twitter space, Clubhouse, even on TikTok, we kind of know them and they are not unknown. So Elder Akinola may sound like one of them, but it's totally not one of them. I'm happy Ima had to come in and then help us sort of debunk that. Thanks, Baba. Here is another caller on the line. Hello.
Hello, Michael. Good evening.
Oh, Charm. Hello, ma. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Oh, I'm trying to be. Thanks so much for asking.
Keep up the good work. You're really doing well.
You.
You can see the massive impact that you're having on people, changing minds and hearts. Like the other caller that called previously, before this other guy that called and talked about his 77-year-old mom. So just look at that 77-year-old woman, who has lived her life, all her life as a Nigerian, and having her heart and her mind changed by my good conversation every day. Well done. You're doing really well.
Thank you so much, Charm. And thanks to all of you who kind of make it more interesting, so that I'm not just the talking head. There are other opinions that kind of help people to understand this better too, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
And just in case I don't call, throughout the week and I'm just listening, I wish the Yoruba conference that you're having, I hope you guys have all the best and that everything you want to accomplish, you're able to accomplish it and get the ball rolling. So the church, first of all, let me start with the church that is collecting 1 billion naira. That's donation, right?
Donation for the endowment fund.
Maego, sometimes I don't know, we are part of the problem. A church is collecting 1 billion, whether it's endowment, whether it's in cash, in whatever, but we understand where the source of that 1 billion is. Which God are you going to thank for that stolen 1 billion? Is it the God that said, "Thou shalt not steal"? Is that the same one that you're going to say, "Thank you, God, for this money that
that's the elite in Nigeria"? They rob them through the back, and then they come around to come and bribe God and say, "Because God has blessed me, I want to say thank you to God. Take 1 billion."
Listen, I'm 100% sure that these people that say that they're men of God, pastors, whatever, they don't know who God is. They haven't opened that Bible once. And if they've opened that Bible, the only reason why they opened that Bible was to find a way to swindle people, which is what they are doing. You can't tell me that, exactly, pulpit bandits, that's what they've become. So that's, I just want to put it out there for people who go to church and whoever attends that, to ask the person who is your pastoring you. So is it the same God that said, "Thou shalt not steal," that you're collecting this 1 billion from politicians who have wealth but no enterprise? They're going to convince us that they're making this money legitimately and that you're happy
without any invention.
Millionaires with no invention. Just you just have money.
Yeah, and access.
And access. I watch your show and I listen and I'm thinking I'm thinking all the time, and I'm saying to myself, right? Everyone says, you go in the comment section, they say things like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I weep for Nigeria. I'm so sorry for Nigeria. I feel so bad for Nigeria." And I'm like, people, try to cut the emotional attachment that you have to that entity called Nigeria. It's not a real place. It's not a real place. Once you stop having any emotional attachment to Nigeria and start having an emotional attachment to things like justice, equity, fairness, treating your fellow human beings like human beings that God has said that they are human beings just like you. Start to treat people. Stop having any emotional attachment to Nigeria. Nigeria is not a real place. It's not a real place. It's a place with no real leadership. Look at the hospital, the so-called hospital that was supposed to have been built with lots of money. That is what they think about you. Just look at that place, Maegu.
That's supposed to be the general hospital in a local government in Kano.
That is supposed to be the general hospital. That is the place where somebody who is supposed to be overseeing other people said, "This is what is good for these people." These are the so-called leaders. I've been watching your show. I watched it up until, I was listening with everything that was going on in South Africa. And I was thinking to myself and thinking, the greatest psyop that they did was the one that they did on the black race. The greatest one, the one that and in fact, if you wanted to be sure that they did a psyop, the end of that whole situation with Chidinma will tell you that somebody was clapping and said, "Yes, our job is 100% complete." This is an African girl, a black African girl, born and raised in South Africa, was forced to withdraw because of the xenophobia, and then they crowned a white South African, and the same black South Africans were saying yes, because she's from South Africa. Don't you know that the sign-up is complete? As in, if we can get these people to hate themselves and love us, right? That means we're winning. And they are winning because we are our greatest problem. We are the greatest dividers of our own self. And until we understand that the weapon fashioned against us, we're never going to get rid of the problems that we have. We think that the problems that we have, and I know, Maegu, that you know, we think the problems that we have are just our leaders. No. They're not our problem. If anyone cares to know, please go on YouTube a talk by, an interview by the Sierra Leonean First Lady. Just listen to what she said about what is going on in her country. This is not any other random Sierra Leonean. This is the Sierra Leonean First Lady giving an interview about you know, the opposition that we have in Africa as a continent, as a people, the neo-colonialism, right? I don't know if you've seen that video, but once I watched that video,
I did see it in the bar, but she was this outspoken lady enough. I just haven't probably bring it here. I think I have seen it. But go on, Charm.
Maegu, if you have a chance and you listen to it, I would love, because you have your reach is far wider than mine, and maybe quite possibly far wider than the person who posted it. On a given day, you have about over 8,000 people watching your show. So it will be a good thing for people to actually see that Sierra Leonean woman talk, so you can understand the scope of the African issue, the scope of the African problem. And when you then understand the scope of the African problem, that is not just, you know, it's an intentional, how will I put it, on the development of a continent, you know, by design.
It is an intentional sabotage that no matter what you do, it's always going to end where they want it to end.
Exactly.
It's always, unfortunately.
It's always going to end exactly where they want it to end. But we're asking, and I think that is why your show, your platform is critical, that we dissolve the entity known as Nigeria. We dissolve it for our own good, for our own progress and prosperity as a black continent, not just as Yoruba nation, not just as Biafra or Arewa or Kwara or whatever nations that arise from this, right? But just for even because once you break that, and it's already broken, because our understanding is that
they are just desperately trying to keep it together. All of them are talking about constitution. Together, but you know now, they are now talking about
Nigeria has already ended. Nigeria ended 10 years ago. So this is expired, you know, this is expiration that we're in.
Over time.
You know, over time. The country has already gone. So we are meant to actually, you know, dissolve and go our separate ways. Right? And then when we go our separate ways, we can then, and that's why I feel, and you know, a lot of people can disagree with me, but that once we separate, as we naturally should separate, you know, do our own things, you know, chart a new course for each region, right?
That's right.
Then we as a people, as different regions, can then have the blueprint for a Pan-African nation. Do you understand? It is only when they see it.
I agree.
Yes, chart a new course. It's only when they see it work with us that it will start to spread generally, right? So that places like South Africa, who are meant to fight the people that came across the ocean,
all over the
where they cannot, their lands that their forefathers stood on and said, on this land, my children after me, the posterity after me will stand on this land. They will see the sunrise, they will see the sunset. And today, as South Africans, there are places that you cannot go, and you are worried about your fellow black man in your own land, where you people outnumber these people. And instead of you to face them squarely, you are facing your black people, your fellow black people.
With murderous gaze, so they are not just facing them, but they are ready to kill and slaughter them.
They are ready to kill them. And that is, listening to your show made something very clear to me. And I feel that is a secret that Mandela went to his grave with. that whole apartheid being gone, they did not read the fine print. Because if they read that fine print, they would not have agreed to it. That there will be places where they will not be able to go. No, that means that in that same South Africa, where your forefathers lived,
it's going to become the lot of some of these Lagosians too. I am saying this now because now we are alive, we can see it. They are already creating barriers and creating their own new airports, new seaports, new this, new that. The only thing left is their own new police, their own currency. They are already creating a city called Lagos Atlantic City. Just so you know, Sha. There will be a time that majority of people who are hearing about it, they are not going to be welcome. Anybody who's seen in there, they are probably just maids, cleaners, workers, guards, and all of that. And to live in the place,
this is the plan that they have for the black race, whether we like it or not. That we're not supposed to aspire to anything but to serve, and for them to come and take our resources, however which way they want to take it. But with the creation of Nigeria as an entity, because I feel that this is the only thing holding all of that together. Once we're able to break away from each other, not because we hate each other, not because we dislike each other, not because we can't live together, but as a necessity, even as to move forward as a continent, this has to happen. And I think this is the thing that scares them the most. They don't want it to happen. But unfortunately, right, they have put in all the right ingredients. It's like when you're cooking food and you're thinking, okay, let's just take this away so that we can just maintain the heat here. But unfortunately, right, they've put in just all the right ingredients for whatever is happening, that revolution that is going to happen. It's going to happen.
They are just kicking the can down the road. It's just a matter of time. Charm.
It's just a matter of time.
Thank you so much.
I just want to put it out there.
You did.
Please, I just want to encourage everyone. That Sierra Leonean First Lady, Google it, or it's on YouTube. Sorry, search for it. It's on YouTube. It's not a long watch. Listen to what she has today to give you a deeper understanding as to the scope of the problem that we have as a continent and as a people.
I'm going to look for it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Cheers, ma'am. Thank you so much, Charm. That's our lady there, Charm. Our time is now up. It's like Charm used all the time now, but it's worth it. Okay. So if I dare take just one more call, I will overshoot the time again. And I don't think it's ideal to do that. But we do have another day tomorrow. I intend to be here in the afternoon. But if I am unable to be, I can always come back in the evening with something more detailed, like, I intend to be here for our brunch time with Mayegun. For this evening, I want to say a big thank you to every one of us and to those of us who are intending to be part of the Yoruba Union Summit virtually. So very soon, we are going to share. See, listen, I'm going to give you one thing here. There's going to be a link, okay? There's a link I'm going to leave in the comment section. Now, that link in the comment section, right? It is for everyone who wants to be part of the Yoruba Union. You have a chance of being part of a Yoruba Union, okay? Via this, hang on, no, where's that link? So I'm trying to kind of get us the link. So invite link. And you see this link, if you join Yoruba Union Telegram, you have an opportunity to have access to what is going on. How can you be part of it? What do you need to do? Here you get up-to-date info and all that, especially when it concerns the upcoming Yoruba Union Summit in Glasgow. I love that one. It makes it look like something so like official. I like official thing. Like, yeah. So the dress code, all of you come in, right? All of us should know this. Come in, we want you to dress. Day one, you can dress like however you want, okay? It is just for you to come in, register that you are in, you get all your file, your folder. Inside it, there are some things you'll meet inside it, including your tag, okay? Your folder should come with your name, everyone's name branded and all that, okay? So that means everything you find in it is just what you will need for this during the summit, whether you want to jot or this or that. All right. And then we want everybody to dress like Yorubas. So don't tell me you forget your native, or you forget this your agbada, or you forget this your. Just make sure. And then you, our ladies, we also want you to please dress as well, like we're not saying that it should be like all the gaga, like, and if it's all gaga too, you are welcome, right? But I want you to dress light for your own good, so that, because we are not coming to party. The summit is not party. We are going to sit down like we are lawmakers. We're going to discuss Yoruba Union Constitution, word, line by line, section by section. And once we finish, we are going to take break. So if you go put on too much gele and eat, can't they disturb you? When the debate and everything starts, you may need to remove gele. And say, Mayegun, do you know what? I don't want that. I'm saying it now so that you know what we are up with. It's not, there may be the third day. You can dress to kill, like show all of that beauty and all of that of Yorubas, okay? Display that. Because third day is just pretty much about, speech giving, contributions and stuff like that, questions and all that. But you see that day too, now real work, Mami, we are discussing a way of Yoruba Union. So you know what that means, right? It is not a party time. It's not a joke time. There will be refreshment. There will be food. There will be all of things for us. Okay? And then, yeah, you're going to love it. It's going to be a great experience. To those of you who are joining us online, virtually, as Yoruba Unionist, hang on, I was supposed to give you the link. Here is the link to Yoruba Union's, hang on, Zoom meeting, Bao. Zoom meeting. Shut up, man. I'm not inviting you to Zoom. I'm inviting you to Yoruba Union. Hang on. Let's see. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna go try that elsewhere. Okay. So what happened is that on that day one again we meet. Mayegun, how are you, ma? Mayegun, it's good to see you. It's good to see you too. I've been looking forward to seeing you. Thanks so much, everyone. Oluwo, this is, that's what the day one will be all about. Then you get your own folders, you get everything about the summit, then you go back to your hotel. So the day two, from 3 p.m. in the afternoon, we expect all participants to arrive, okay, be on seats. And then, yeah, the deliberation begins. You get briefed, all of us get briefed about what we want to do, how we are going to do it. Everyone gets out their own folder, your pen and everything, and your phone. Because we initially wanted to print out the constitution, the draft, but we felt like it's about 24 pages. Here you get. So we felt like instead of printing out the draft, since we have a copy of the draft on Telegram, you attending, you will get a new copy that will be sent to your email as well. So we intend that you have a copy of the drafts. Okay. So when you get through, when it is time for us to debate it, you can go through the draft yourself. Because as we are doing the debate and editing and all of that, they quickly become law until we close it. Once we close that, we go to the mission and then aims and objective of the union. So we discuss that, we kind of like itemize them and gazette them. That automatically becomes the union, this and that, okay? Anyway, there are many of us here who are like the members of this temple. You know about how the Yoruba Union started. A lot of you contributed towards the emergence of the Yoruba Union. It all started 2 years ago. So it's not something that started yesterday. And there's been so much we've done. So yes, that is why you are getting to know about what we are about to do. And like I said, those who are laughing at us won't be laughing for long when we are done. So please go on and look at the yorubaunion.org as a Yoruba person all over the world. Sign up. You will meet other Yorubas waiting to meet you. Befriend people. Send friend requests. Invite others to join you. Meet with them. Chat with them. But don't ever solicit for money from anybody on Yoruba Union platform. That is the first thing you shouldn't do. We are so we are guiding the details of our members and their data, everything so jealously. If you have a chance that you become a member of the Yoruba Union, don't abuse it. Don't target our people. We have all the mechanism to get rid of anyone that abuses all this privilege. Please don't abuse it so that we can achieve the reason why we are pulling everybody together. In a few months' time, a lot of you will be so proud. Not only that you are part of this, even those of you who are hearing about it, you look back and be like, man, that's some good work. And I have got an interesting, amazing, trustworthy, dedicated people around the projects. Igbimo, Majakobaje, Ile Yoruba. Thank you so much, everyone. And yes, this is how to join us if you are planning to.
There are 2 steps to successfully sign up into the yorubaunion.org website. Once you get on the landing page, you click on Join Now. Once you click on Join Now, you select your choice. For example, I click on my own editable choice. Click on Select. I choose my price. If I decide to leave it as £1 or £10, the minimum amount is 10. Let's say I select £5. And then I choose my username. Once I click on Submit and check, I would receive 2 emails on my email. Now let's go to my email address. In my inbox, the first email you receive from Yoruba Union should look like this. It tells you, thank you for joining the Yoruba Union community. You will receive an email shortly. Please follow the steps. Click on the bold text to verify your email. So after receiving this first email to confirm that your registration was successful, then you will receive a second email. So it's 2 emails back to back. So I'm going to go to the second email that was received, and this is the second email. It states here, important, you must follow this link to confirm your email address before your membership is fully activated. So you have to click on this link, whether you're doing it on your computer or your mobile device. Click on this link or copy the link and paste it in a new browser. That's the only way that your membership will be fully verified. Otherwise, what would happen is you would still have access to the website if you don't follow this link, but you wouldn't have access to many features on the website. It'll give you error messages like you are restricted. So I hope this really helps in registering, in logging you into the yorubaunion.org website. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and good night. You all have a wonderful week. I'll see you tomorrow. Udaro.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Mayegun dayari political.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Godfather ṣẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun diary na you be number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Mayegun diary na you be number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Ayé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Mayegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.